Good afternoon, Philippe LEGRAIN. That was a very inspirational talk this afternoon. Was this your first TEDx talk?
It is, yeah. It's a great experience.
You were very polished. Everyone said, my gosh, he must have practiced a lot. It was really, really, like there wasn't a second, there wasn't a pause. An amazing message. When you were thinking about what you were going to talk about, did this talk come forward? Was this the first thing that you talked about, that you thought about?
Well, I've just completed a report for the think tank I founded called Open and the Tent Foundation, which is on how refugees can contribute to the economy. And so when TEDxMonteCarlo got in touch, it was the obvious thing to talk about.
Refugees, they're just over the border. I mean, it's a cause that's very close to Monica's heart. You raised some very, very good points. Would you like to state some of the facts, maybe some of the things that people aren't aware of? Why
Sure.
refugees are a good thing?
The thing is, as well as being a humanitarian and legal obligation, welcoming refugees is an investment that can yield big economic dividends. In fact, the key finding of my recent study is that investing €1 in helping refugees can yield nearly €2 in economic benefits within just 5 years. All sorts of ways: caring for the elderly, filling skilled jobs in healthcare, starting businesses, being creative and innovating, helping to pay for taxes in an aging society, all sorts of ways. And it's not just something that governments need to do, it's something that businesses need to do. So my message to you is, if you run a business, is by all means help refugees as part of your corporate social responsibility, but also employ refugees because it's good for your business. They're likely to be hardworking, highly motivated workers, and you will benefit from it.
Excellent. Which organizations are you working with to share the message, and where?
Well, as I said, I've set up a think tank called Open Political Economy Network, which is at opennetwork.net or Open to Progress on Twitter. And our research is founded by the Tent Foundation, whose mission is to help forcibly displaced people. They're based in New York, and they're at tent.org, and they do fantastic work in this area.
How about technology? Do you see technology as being one of the areas that can really help refugees?
Absolutely. I mean, that's part of what Tent does, is the idea that we end up trying to help refugees in the same way that we did back in the 1950s, and yet technology has grown in leaps and bounds, and we ought to be using new methods. So, for example, in Sweden, LinkedIn is using its technology to help match employers who want to hire refugees to refugees with particular skills.
That's incredible. Why only Sweden?
Well, I think if it works well in Sweden, it could be well rolled out elsewhere.
Okay.
In Sweden, it's the country in Europe which has received the most refugees as a share of population, and it was a local initiative of LinkedIn there in Sweden.
I don't want to put you on the spot, but what would be the average demographic of the refugees? Like, what percentage might be children, what percentage might be adults? I'm thinking education versus work, people who can work.
Well, most refugees are young. The average age of the refugees who recently arrived in Europe is in their early 20s. So they're either finishing their school or starting to work, and they have a lot to contribute. And they're also a big demographic boost for aging societies like Germany, where the average age is 46, and which needs dynamic young workers in the labour force, helping to pay for pensioners, helping to support population numbers.
Excellent. Do you have anything else that you would like to share?
Well, TEDx is a fantastic experience, and if you're passionate about something and have something to say, then you should get involved. It's great.
Outstanding. Thank you very much.
Thank you.